Hi everyone! Today I'm building a nightclub and concert venue for myshuno. This is originally where the karaoke bar is placed, Planet Honey Pop, but after building the LGBTQ plus nightclub last month, I was just thinking like, what else would I want my Sims to be able to visit when I'm playing in myshuno? And I was just thinking that I might want to have my Sims form a band in my gameplay, and I need a good venue for them to perform at, so let's build a little place for that. And it is very inspired by a place that I used to go to for concerts all the time when I was in college. A lot of like punk shows and more smaller artists would always visit there on their tour. Some bigger artists too. I know I saw like TV Girl there, and that was super packed, but it was a pretty consistent spot for a lot of smaller bands and artists, so it definitely has a special place in my heart. So this lot has a stage with a DJ booth and a mic, a big dance floor, and there's a bar inside and also a bar outside, along with a keg and a bubble blower outside as well. So there is plenty to do. There's a lot of the typical party items that I like to put on my nightclub lots. And low-key, I've been thinking lately how I tend to only upload community lots on my channel, even though I build plenty of residential lots. I actually built a really cute farmhouse the other day, but I don't know, it feels more fun to post community lots for some reason. Like, that's what I mostly enjoy watching. I think because I'm always looking for more fun places for my Sims to go versus like I'm not always in the market for a new house, you know, so I don't know, maybe I will start posting more of my residential lots, but lately I've just kind of been on the community lot grind. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that building a few lots for myshuno has made me want to include myshuno in my save file, which I know is quite a task to add a whole new world to the mix when I'm already not finished with the original two. But hear me out, because apartments don't take as long to finish because it's really just about furnishing rather than having to do the whole exterior and landscaping and everything. And if you don't know, I'll be starting grad school in August, so I'll definitely be a lot busier, and so if I'm working on an apartment for my save file, they might be fun to upload sometimes if I don't have as much spare time, but I still want to work on something. So again, no promises on anything. I'm just working on my save file as I feel like it, but I just thought I'd let you know what's going on in my brain. And speaking of my save file, I wanted to say thank you guys for all of the love on my video showing off my progress in Willow Creek and Newcrest. I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. A lot of you guys seem to love the Sims 3 vibes, and I totally relate. My nostalgia for The Sims 3 has really been coming through lately, even though I haven't been playing The Sims 3 much because the game just doesn't run that well. And I'm gonna be honest, there is so much that the game does right in terms of gameplay, but cast and build mode are honestly tragic compared to The Sims 4. Although there's a color wheel, it just feels like the options for customization in cast especially are super limited. And back in the day, I would always play with a lot of custom content, but now it's like, I don't know, I don't want to play with custom content in my Sims 3 really, just because for the amount I'll actually play, I feel like it's just too much to add it all in. But build mode is also pretty difficult because I'm just so accustomed to building in The Sims 4 at this point, and the tools we have are just so much easier to use. But gameplay though, The Sims 3 just knew what they were doing, and I have been feeling really nostalgic for it. At this point, I kind of have the main shape basically finished. I'm kind of just laying everything out, and I decided to open up the second story for the most part so that the concert venue would feel like it has high ceilings, which is definitely very important for a place like this in real life. I mean, obviously in The Sims, you can't crowd surf, yet. I'm holding out hope for a game pack that is all about bands. That would be so amazing. But in real life, if a place like this had low ceilings, someone would get hurt for real for real. Like if you tried to have a real concert like that. But this slot is also totally functional as a nightclub, and I'd imagine that's how it will more commonly be used by anyone who downloads it. But yeah, you could just easily switch out the DJ booth for a guitar, or if you have custom content drums, which I use all the time in my game, and I've talked about them a million times on my channel, so I won't go into it. But yeah, if you do want to have a true band performance here, it would be pretty easy to just change up what's on the stage, and you should be good to go. The Sims that I've been playing with most recently in San Myshuno is actually the household that I uploaded a video making a few weeks ago. The video was called like creating a toxic lesbian love triangle or something like that. And I kind of want to have Asa form a band, and I was thinking she could possibly have her toxic ex in the band because they're both really into music, and maybe they were already in this band before they broke up and they want to keep it going. We'll see. I'm actually thinking that they might be a really fun household to play with when the Lovestruck expansion comes out in a few weeks, just because they have a really interesting relationship dynamic, and I know that they're introducing the ability to be polyamorous, and I don't know if those three would be down for that, but it's definitely a possibility in my mind. The thing is though, I'll probably want to play in the new world, so I don't know, maybe they can just go between the two worlds a lot, because I'll definitely still want to utilize San Myshuno for their story because they're all involved in the entertainment field in one aspect or another. I could also see one of them getting into the new matchmaking career just for funsies, but I don't know, we'll have to see. I don't even know if that's who I'll end up playing with when the expansion pack comes out, but I think it'd be fun. I really just hope it's not a super glitchy pack. I have a feeling though that it will end up being one of my favorite packs just because the concept is pretty cool, and it just feels like the gameplay will be something that I become accustomed to, sort of like the growing together milestones and all of that, rather than like a snowy escape or horse ranch pack where I have to go out of my way to play with it more. Back to the build though, there were two main things that I really wanted to make sure I got right, and the first was making the place feel grungy and gross with a lot of trash and dirt on the walls and everything, like very scuffed, just because this place is definitely getting trashed pretty often. I don't want it to feel like it's never being maintained, but I definitely want it to feel like a nightclub in the city. You know, those places are usually not very clean and full of wasted people who don't care to keep it clean. And second, I also wanted to make sure that the lighting was right. I want you to be able to see when you visit, but not have it be too bright to where it makes you feel sober just standing in there. Okay, that's kind of a joke, but having fun colored lighting, but still keeping it somewhat dark, is what I've found to be the best way to do lighting for a lot like this in The Sims. It's the same as like when I built the LGBTQ plus nightclub and bar lot last month. It was like a purple and red lighting throughout, but it wasn't too overbearing, and it still felt like it was a bit dark in there. So you can see I'm going through and adding a bunch of trash throughout the build, and something else that I thought was kind of fun that I used were the arches from werewolves to kind of make the inside and outside just feel like there's a hole in the wall rather than a formal archway or door. I thought it would fit well, especially with all of the brick that I used around the building. And I also went in and placed a bunch of the floor stains from Strangerville. Those are so good. I feel like I use them all the time, but they're just perfect for making the floor look like it's gross and stained and it's been damaged over the years. And I also had to add in a dumpster because we always need a woohoo spot on a lot like this. And I also put a busking station on the front of this lot because it just feels very appropriate for a local concert bar spot like this to have some dude outside with a guitar, just wasted, trying to make some money. I feel like I always used to see that, and the bouncers would like tell him to get lost always. On the interior, I have a lot of the furniture laid out, and I used the invisible dance floor that comes with the Party Essentials kit. I feel like that is one of the few highlights of the pack because a lot of it is pretty mid. I think it's one of the worst build kits. It definitely has a few cute things, of course, just like every other kit, but it's definitely one of the kits I would recommend least just because a lot of the items don't really look, I don't know, like high quality? I don't know. Like The Sims 4 obviously looks cartoony on purpose, but I don't know, there's just something off with a few of the things in that pack. But anyway though, I do really like how the dance floor is invisible in live mode because it feels a lot more realistic. Like in real life, people just get in front of the stage to watch the concert or to dance or mosh or whatever, so I really liked being able to use that. And I have a bar inside and outside as well. And I just have some tables set up by the bar if you'd rather sit and watch the show or just want to sit with your drink. And I also set up a merch table, and I wanted to keep it pretty plain in case you actually wanted to have your Sims come sell stuff there. I thought about putting t-shirts or the clothing racks from high school years, but I decided to just use some of the bins from Dream Home Decorator, and then if you want to have your Sim come sell their band's merch there, you can bring whatever you actually want them to be selling. I also wanted to make sure I included a cool outdoor space with a bar, kind of like a smoking area, just because, again, I'm taking inspiration from the venue that I most frequented in college. And I don't actually live in that city anymore, otherwise I'd probably still be going there. And as I've said a billion times now in my videos, I'm about to move to a new city. So I'm hoping that there will be a lot of fun places to go out and stuff, especially to like go to concerts and stuff. It's not like a huge city or anything that I'm moving to, but the place I live right now is pretty quiet. There's not a ton going on in terms of going out, at least in terms of places that I'd be interested in, so I haven't really been going out like that very much in the last year that I've lived here, but we'll see. Hopefully I can make some cool friends who can show me all the cool spots and everything. I feel like sometimes I am good at making friends and sometimes I just feel really like quiet and kind of awkward. I don't know, there has to be some sort of a vibe and I have to be in the right mood, otherwise I just get quiet and I don't want to talk to anyone. Literally, I've been like that since I was a kid though. Like when I was with certain people, I was super talkative and fun and bubbly, but okay, like for example, when I was in elementary school, I was a Girl Scout and I was so shy and awkward in my troop. Like I had a few friends, but I don't know, the girls that were in my troop, we were just on a different wavelength. Even though I wanted them to like me, I was always just a mute unless someone directly spoke to me or asked me a question or something. Like literally, we used to do superlatives at the end of the year or whatever, and 2 years in a row, I won the quietest award. And let me tell you, at the time, that shit killed me. Like, that is kind of an insult, even though, like, it was true. Like, why is that even a category? Like, you couldn't find a nicer way to say that? But anyway, I really have broken out of my shell a lot in the well over a decade since that time. But sometimes in social situations, I still feel like that, and I feel like afraid to be seen as the quiet, awkward girl like I was back then, but most of the time I just try not to care what other people think about me the best I can, because sometimes that shit is hard, but because really the reason I was like that was because I just wanted the other girls to like me and I cared about what they thought and yada yada, so it's just easier now if I really try to just be myself, not care what people think. Easier said than done, but It really does make a lot of difference in like your confidence, I've found. Okay, anyway, I got totally sidetracked there. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. The build is almost complete at this point, and I'm kind of going in and adding the finishing touches. I went in and added a bunch of pride flags and band posters and some neon lights and all of that good stuff to really top it off. So if you're interested in downloading this lot, it is over on my gallery page. My name on there is just the same as my YouTube. It's just at simgrays. And the lot is called Lever Nightclub / Concerts, just a mini reference to the place that I used to go to in real life. So anyway, thanks for listening to me yap about literally nothing for the past 15 minutes. That was kind of therapeutic, but there's going to be some screenshots at the end of the video, and I think that's all I have for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video.